Hey everybody, happy Tuesday, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm Virginia Chuck.
I'm Jason Martinez. Not a picture-perfect sunrise this morning, Megan.
Oh, it's still beautiful.
It's still going to be great today, though.
I mean, a cloudy picture at the beach is better than
Still
no picture at the beach.
Than no beach.
Got it.
Exactly. Yeah, the Oceanside is very cloudy right now. You may run into some drizzle, maybe some mist out of that marine layer. It's not widespread by any means, but just don't get caught off guard. And the temperatures are very mild. The spread this morning from the coast to our valley is about 57 to 62 degrees. So very similar to where we started off yesterday morning. And for your commute, even though that chance for a little drizzle is with us this morning, really won't slow you down, but you may notice some roads are slick. If you do notice that, just drive a little slower. You don't want to be spinning out there. 60s this afternoon for the coast, 70s inland, 50s in the mountains, and not too bad in the deserts at 85. I'm putting together my forecast for your neighborhood. I'll have that for you in San Diego's most accurate forecast in 8 minutes. Virginia?
Thank you, Megan. Happening today, the San Diego Unified District is weighing even more layoffs, and some parents aren't happy about the district's new stance on Islam. 10 News reporter Mary McKenzie live in Normal Heights this morning. Mary, so many hot-button emotional issues on the table for tonight.
Not every Board of Ed meeting is as potentially explosive as this one, but those additional layoffs certainly could make for one of those meetings today. 5 o'clock this afternoon, the district will consider adding almost 200 employees to the list of 1,500 who have already received those layoff notices. District officials, they're trying to balance a $124 million budget shortfall for this upcoming fiscal year. And this round of pink slips have already gone to library technicians, to mental health workers, and to bus drivers. Notices, of course, we've previously covered have already been served to PE teachers, special education assistants, as well as teachers with less seniority. One teacher says that the worry over whether or not they'll rescind those notices is incredibly stressful.
I don't like that they do this so often, where they lay off a whole bunch of people and then they come back and say, never mind, you're going to be okay. It's like, why didn't they budget it all out in the first place so that they don't have to mess with everyone's lives like this?
Also at the meeting, expect topics to come up like water testing that is currently going on within the district. And there is also a protest plan, which you mentioned, Virginia, to against a program which would combat Islamophobia after a number of incidents within the last school year of religious harassment. So right there, that's just 3 of the hot topics that will be addressed later today at that meeting. But there are certainly more than that as well. So could make for an explosive and a very long meeting today. We're live in Normal Heights. Mary McKenzie, 10 News.
Yeah, actually, Mary, in fact, tonight the district will also be talking about construction of the border wall. They are considering whether to endorse a bill that would stop the state from awarding public contracts to companies that help build the wall. They argue construction of a wall would impact kids in the district. And that's not even the last of the controversial issues expected to come up tonight during the board meeting. Coming up new in the next half hour at 6:30, why several parents will also be there to ask the district to stop teaching sex ed.
Breaking here in the 10 News Live Center, the car in a Southern California Amber Alert has been found. It was found in Pomona, but the search intensifies for this baby girl believed to have been kidnapped by her father. This is 1-year-old Lexi Segura. Sheriff's investigators believe her dad took her in Rancho Cucamonga. Daniel Segura is considered armed and dangerous. This Amber Alert is in effect in LA, Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. Again, the pair still has not been found. Of course, I'll continue to monitor this here in the 10 News Live Center. I'm Melissa Masiha. Back to you.
All right, Mel, let us know there. And, you know, sanctuary cities, it's a hot issue right now, and it caused a big stir when Chula Vista was first debating it and becoming one earlier this month.
Happening today, the city will consider calling itself a welcoming city instead.
So 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala live there in Chula Vista. What's the difference then, Mimi?
Well, Jason, Virginia, a welcoming city usually means that everyone is welcome and served equally regardless of their immigration status, while a sanctuary city historically has protected those in violation of federal immigration laws. We talked to an immigration attorney who says Chula Vista is already a welcoming city. It's just never been titled that or labeled that. So today there are a few things City Council will be discussing about current immigration policies and how immigration violations are handled here. They're calling for the development of some kind of program that will really better communicate those policies to the city's immigrant community so everyone has a clear understanding of the laws and services provided. Now, President Trump signed an executive order that would hold federal funds to any city considered a sanctuary city and did not specifically mention welcoming city, but legal experts tell 10 News there's actually no legal actual definition of either term yet, but that Chula Vista has always technically been a welcoming city since there are a number of tourists here, international students, refugees, and a close relationship with neighbors in Mexico.
Regardless of what term a city wants to call itself with regards to immigration enforcement, immigration agents, it's important to remember that they can continue to do their work, and they do.
So the vote in the meeting will start at 5 today. We will bring you the outcome of that, but also being discussed today at that City Council meeting will be the future of one of the Otay Mesa board members, water board members. There's some controversy surrounding that person. We're going to talk about that coming up in just a little bit. For now, we are live in Chula Vista. Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
Thank you, Mimi. Now to this developing story. Live look at Capitol Hill because the deadline is approaching quickly for Congress to pass a spending bill. If they don't do it by midnight Friday, a government shutdown is possible. Democrats are targeting President Trump's wall with Mexico, saying they will not pass a bill that includes funding for it. Now, a few hours ago, the president tweeted this. He basically says he won't change his position on the wall. Now, earlier, the White House had said it may revisit the wall issue later that could possibly get this bill through.
It'll be enough in the negotiation for us to move forward with either the construction or the planning, or enough for us to move forward through the end of September to get going on the border wall.
Along with the budget, Congress is trying to hash out a new plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. Melissa Masiha in the 10 News Live Center tracking a poll on what Americans want to see with that. Mel?
And that poll out just this morning. I want to show you the results here from the ABC Washington Post poll. The question asked here, what to do with Obamacare? And you can see 37% say they want to repeal and replace it. They also asked here about what should Trump do in the meantime. 79% say to make it work. So interesting results here. The poll out just within the past couple of hours. I'm Melissa Masiha. Back to you.
All right, Mel, thank you very much. Let's talk North Korea now, because the U.S. and North Korea are both flexing their muscles today. North Korea is marking the anniversary of their military with a large-scale artillery drill. Other celebrations more low-key, including laying flowers at statues of country leaders. But the U.S. is saying, hey, we have a military too. And so the guided missile submarine just arrived off the coast of South Korea. The USS Michigan is loaded up with nuclear missiles. Now, the U.S. Navy says the ship is there for a routine stop, but it still sends a strong message to Kim Jong-un. As all of this is happening, up for discussion tomorrow, as all 100 senators are going to the White House for a briefing on North Korea. Rare, because normally administration officials would go to Capitol Hill to talk about this sort of thing.
6:08 happening today. A veteran and father will be in court. Deputies arrested him outside of Vista 7-Eleven. Remember this video that we showed you yesterday? Deputies say it all started inside with this man. They named him as Casey Clayson. You can see he's pouring a soda on top of his head. He seems very disturbed. When he went outside, they say he kicked, he fought, and then bit a deputy. Let's show you what happened outside. Deputies ended up tasing and arresting him. 10 News talked with Clayson's ex-wife. She says he served 2 tours in the Middle East, but his life went into a tailspin, she says, after he left the military.
He was walking around naked, screaming, "I am the devil." And that's when they put him on a psych hold.
Clayson's ex-wife there says he has PTSD. Deputies say he was on drugs during this confrontation. We spoke with a veteran support group that said it looks like Clayson needs professional help immediately.
As long as he's out in the streets, he's going to continue to self-medicate, and he's going to get in trouble.
Clayson will formally hear the charges he's facing today.
And hopefully gets the help he needs. All right, meteorologist Megan Perry is here, and we could see just a spritz on our windshield this morning.
Yeah, maybe some mist. You may get an organized drizzle. I had one for about 30 seconds, maybe not even that long, but you may run into it this morning. Again, most areas won't see anything. It's all out of the marine layer, all enhanced by a storm to the north of us. Most of us just seeing those clouds, but boy, doesn't that Pacific Beach camera just look blue and beautiful this morning. So a good day to have lunch outside. We will see some clouds lingering even into the afternoon at some of our beaches, but by this afternoon, especially for our inland areas, we'll be climbing to the 70s, 68 in Chula Vista, low to mid 70s for most inland areas with mid to upper 60s along our coastline. Still breezy in the mountains and the deserts, but not quite as windy as yesterday. We are going to be jumping 5 to about 12 to 13 degrees tomorrow. How warm we're going to get and how long it lasts when I come back in about 10 minutes. Kalina?